when I turned around 18, 19, I collapsed. I started collapsing because my mom didn't know how to address the situation. You can apply a lot of strategies in your business, but if you don't believe 100% in yourself as the person who can help other people, people won't feel safe with you. You're going to realize that most of your thoughts, if you're not making a lot of money or attracting a lot of clients, most of your thoughts tend to be toxic. The more you believe in yourself, the faster you will get where you want to be.
This is the Sphere of Influence podcast, and I'm your host, Monie. Here we discuss entrepreneur journeys, how entrepreneurs are using social media to promote their businesses, and tips on how to become better entrepreneurs. And as always, I always hope that helps you in your journey because I think it's better to learn from other people's learning moments, aka mistakes, rather than to make our own. And joining me today is a coach that is helping entrepreneurs in real estate reach their full potential. So please help me welcome Alejandra Lozano.
Hi.
Hi, Alejandra. Thank you so much for joining me.
So thank you so much for letting me be here. I was excited. I was
Of
like, oh,
course. Thank you.
so
Thank
nice
you.
to be here.
So tell me more about your journey into becoming a coach. Have you always been a coach? How did it all started?
Okay, so first I started as a life coach, and I started as a life coach because that was exactly what helped me to overcome my depression, to achieve my dreams, my goals, and I had like a huge transformation in my life. uh like, yeah, as a human I evolved a lot. So I had a background in economics, but then I don't know, I just started like getting super interested for everything related with coaching. I didn't know what was that, and I got involved and I started like searching, and everything made so much sense for me because there's a lot of science behind coaching, right? Like you need to know like some basics about how your mind, your brain works. Then you habits you need to embody to become that person you want to be. So yes, so first I started as a life coach, and then there was this part inside me, this ambitious woman who wants to build a huge empire, and I couldn't let that aside. So while I was helping my clients with their life, they also had their business, and most of them were real estate agents. So I started just applying few things that I read in books about business, and we started like working together, and it worked. It worked. So I decided to now call myself business coach and sales coach as well, because my main focus is like helping them attract clients to their business.
Nice.
So that's
Okay.
how I became. I was so passionate about like how easy it can be if you train your brain and you start applying like simple strategies to create your own results.
Okay. Nice. And then, so you talked a little bit about the depression that came and that was what kind of propelled you to get into coaching. Can you talk a little bit about what was that like for you, and w- since that was such a pivotal moment for you to launch you into coaching.
And it's wild. So this is gonna be like an interesting episode because I can
Let's
go
hear it.
super deep with it. Okay, so since I was little, I used to cry a lot. So my mom brought me to the doctor, and the doctor said she lacked serotonin in her brain. We need to give her pills. And I was just 7 years old. And my mom said, absolutely not. I won't medicate my daughter since this age, especially with like depression pills. Those are extremely heavy and harmful for your health, for everything, your brain. So when I turned around 18, 19, I collapsed. I started collapsing
Wow.
because my mom didn't know how to address the situation. So if you don't do anything about something, so this is gonna collapse. I didn't know
Of
how to
course.
process my emotions. I didn't know what to do with all these that I was feeling inside me. So I started having like a suicidal, I don't know how to say the word,
Suicidal, yes.
suicidal, suicidal, suicidal thoughts in my head all the
Mm,
time. And I know a lot of people experience that as well, because we never were taught how to manage our brain, our mind, and we don't know how to do that. This is gonna control us, and it's heavy. Like the
mm,
brain is constantly creating a lot of toxic thoughts. Society comes out with thoughts as well for business to make more money and all that. So that's why we watch the news and we feel paranoid, and we are in constant drama. So someone who is sensitive, and I'm a highly sensitive person, this kind of environments where we are in is extremely heavy and harmful. So I didn't know how to navigate all that. So I know a lot of people can resonate with it, that they're also highly sensitive. And so I started having those thoughts, and yeah, I didn't share that with anyone. Sometimes I think I said, oh, I don't want to live anymore. Like
mm,
I don't there is no purpose. It doesn't make sense. Like I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing here. My relationships were a disaster. Like everything was a disaster in my life. So um I actually this came from a thought of I don't want to live anymore, to an action. Like, and it started with a thought, I don't want to live anymore, and I started repeating this anymore a lot of times, because it was like it doesn't make sense. Like, what am I doing here? Like,
yeah.
I don't have goals, I don't have dreams, nothing is happening.
Mm,
I don't have healthy relationships. I didn't have a good uh, mom and dad role in my house, and all this. So I when you have these kind of thoughts, you start releasing certain um, hormones. In this case, I started releasing a lot of cortisol, and I was lacking already serotonin. So the there was no balance in my brain at that point. So that was the moment where I started taking pills to overdose myself. And the last one was I this is heavy. So people, if
it's
you are
okay. Thank you for sharing it. I know, yeah, let's put a disclaimer. If you're, feeling suicidal, you're having thoughts about hurting yourself, please reach out to somebody that could help you. There are so many people, amazing, wonderful people, hotlines as well. I will make sure to include that in there. I know this is a very heavy topic, and Alejandra has dealt with it, and is now in a new page of her life where she's able to talk about this. But for those people that might not be in that place, please get the help you need. We want to see you continue to be here in this earth and have an amazing life, successful life. So, yeah, continue. I'm sorry.
Yes, no, perfect. I needed that introduction before I go to a specific with it, because it's something serious. Yes, as you say, I overcame that, and I feel so proud of myself, because it's not easy. It's not easy to overcome
Mhm.
that without pills.
Yeah.
Like I still have people around me, and they at this age they still have to take those pills to calm down themselves. I don't. So yes, I'm proud of myself, but I know it's hard. It's not that easy to get here. I have trained my brain immensely. I got obsessed about like how can I get out of this depression without taking pills, because the thing with the pills is you start losing your memory, and you are like you don't have control over your body. It's like you are not here.
A
You're not
zombie.
in your body. Yes, it's weird. So first I started like taking those pills, and then I came to an action that was heavy in that moment,
Mm,
because um I will say I never thought I was going to get to that point. So I started cutting myself,
mm,
and my mom found me in the bathroom.
mm,
So that was when I went to the hospital,
mm.
and they sent me to this mental hospital for like 2 weeks.
Wow.
And it was like, it was wild. It was it was kind of it was the kind of experience that changed your life completely, because I was around other people, schizophrenics, like people who was mentally more ill than me. and and I had those 2 weeks to assess my life. It was so weird because I was taking pills every day. I i was eating and taking pills, that's it. But in that moment, when my family came to visit and my dad cried, my cousin cry, was like, damn, I'm hurting people for real. Like, this is happening. And I didn't see that before, because we think that we are not important at all. And especially for someone who is depressed and have these kind of thoughts, they think they're not important, they're garbage. And sometimes we think that even if we are okay, right? Like,
Yeah.
what is the point of living? Like, I don't matter, like I'm not good enough. And and this is extremely like interesting to see that this show up when you're building your business too. It's like, am I good enough for this? Am I
Yeah.
gonna make it? Is this really gonna happen to me? All that garbage start appearing again in
Right.
your while you're building your business. So yeah, so no, like, this story can take forever, but that's a heavy part. So I spent 2 weeks in this hospital. Then I was kind of getting better, but I need to be supervised all the time, um, because it's really risky if someone try
Right.
already to do it again. This happened already 10 years ago. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm out of there. Like, sometimes if I have those kind of thoughts, I know how to address them, and I know I won't do it
Right.
because it's not worth it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So the thing is, when I went out from the hospital, I had this psychologist, but she had a coaching background. She
Hmm.
was more she was a psychologist, but she trained herself to become a coach. So
Okay.
that was the part that interests me the most
Okay.
and helped me
Mm.
to change my life. Because a
Mm.
psychologist and a therapist, they just ask you to talk, like,
Yeah.
tell me what is happening, what are your wounds, like how your mom treated you, and this and this, and then you have the opportunity to express yourself and talk. But
Yeah.
that was a perfect combination, because then she helped me to create a woman I wanted to become. Like,
Mm.
she say, I want you to dream big. What do you want? What kind of people you want to attract in your life? Where do you want to live? And what are you passionate about? Like, all this process where you start from present to future, and you start like healing the past, but you don't focus that much in the past, because you realize that going to the past, going there that much, just gonna get you stagnant there. Being the victim, and why did it happen to me, life should be have been easy for me, I don't deserve that. So we started like applying a lot of coaching tools to create that path that I wanted. And the first one was to finally feel peace in myself and not be depressed. That was the first one. Like, I really want to feel okayness, at least. Like, I want to wake up and not cry and feel like present, that I can enjoy everything around, that I feel that I can have good relationships with people. And I also was super aggressive. So I don't want to be aggressive anymore. I want to be passionate. Like, I wanted to gain awareness, and I didn't know what was awareness until I achieved this point in my life where I was like, oh my gosh, so is
Mm.
this happening for real? Like, can you have a better life? Now that I'm saying this, I wish I could go back and experience that again and see the change.
Mm.
But now it's so normal to live a better life that I don't remember how bad it was. But I
Yeah.
know I remember it was heavy. So most of my dreams became real and true. It happened with that process, in the coaching process. And it basically is about like training your brain, your mind, to open a window in your brain, so then you become more creative and you find out the way to create the life that you want.
Right.
And I also super spiritual, so I know that we came here to have this experience as humans,
Mm,
and the more we reject the heavy part, the 50 that is ugly and dark, the worse it will get.
mm.
It's just
Yeah,
knowing that this is temporarily. You just came here to enjoy life, and you have this ego in your brain who's telling you that you are not worth it, you don't deserve it. But it's just this voice that actually is trying to protect you from the unknown,
yeah,
and is its job to
yeah,
protect you from the unknown, keep you safe in the cave, as if we were animals still.
mm, yeah.
So the brain doesn't know that we're humans evolving.
Yes, yes. Wow, that's an amazing story, and it's a happy one, right? Because I'm a big believer. I think I've said this before so many times, but I'm a believer that the universe gives us what we need in the moments that we need it. Um, and every experience in our life is helping us evolve to the better evolution of ourselves. And I think this is like spot on what I think. It's like, yeah, you were in a very dark place, but the reason why you had to go through that is because you were going to be here on earth helping other people, and for you to be able to help them, you had to travel through that path. And I know it's harder to see the reason why we're in certain circumstances when we're in them, but I think it's about having hope and knowing that life is happening for us, not happening to us. And just that little mind shift of like, okay, what is this moment trying to teach me? What am I supposed to gain from this moment, rather than, just like you said, victimizing ourselves and thinking, oh, poor me, life sucks, because that's not going to change. Whatever's happening is going to continue to happen, but it's how you switch your mind and how you choose to look at it that's going to be helpful for you. So know that you are powerful, that you have the strength, and just like her, she was able to turn something negative into a positive. And you're here with us today,
Yeah.
being an amazing coach to people. And I think that experience really helps you to connect with people, because without it, you might not seem genuine, and you just
Hmm.
come from a different mentality where you've been there and you know what it feels like to not feel good enough, and I feel like when we are so good at getting in our heads and just like being our worst enemies, and we if we talk to the people that we love the way that we talk to ourselves, we would have no friends, because
Yeah.
it's awful. It is awful. And I do it, and we
Yeah.
all do it, but we wouldn't talk to other people, but we talk to ourselves that way, right? So we need
Mm.
to have a little step back and try not to talk to ourselves like that, because it's so harmful, and
Yeah.
in what you do, what resource do you use the most, um for people? Like, what are the tools, I guess, that you use for people to get out of this mentality, especially when you're trying to open up a business, or you deal mainly with a lot of realtors, but you also deal with other entrepreneurs as well. W- like, what are the tools, what is the first tool that you would use with them to get them out of that space?
So first, the first one, I have this concept that is called become before being, right? So that means that we're gonna create like an avatar, like the perfect person that you want to be. I mean, not perfect, but the person you want to become. And we don't have to wait until we are that person. We're just gonna start practicing it right now. For example, the Alejandra who is making 1 million already is elegant. So I try to be as elegant, like the clothes I wear, as possible. Something so extremely like a little superficial, but I'm just starting with something simple. But another thing that I ask myself, okay, so this Alejandra making $1 million, how'd she approach to like how'd she approach to people? What is her level of confidence? What words she would use? like being super specific about it. I know that sometimes, yeah, the person I want to become is me being able to buy like Chanel, Louis Vuitton, whatever. I just make it out. Those are the first brands that come to me, but expensive things, or I want my Porsche and all that. And I don't want to have, I cannot have these right now because I don't have the money. But just go with the things that you can actually change right now. For example, the person that is making already $1 million or 100K or 200K for sure has like an organized routine, you know, and his or her mindset is aligned with that result. And the kind of mindset this person has is, oh, I can make it. It is possible. Let's do this. Like a more positive mindset. And things like really small that you can start, like this is what I talk with my clients. Okay, we're gonna become before being. That's the first thing we start doing at the beginning. So where do you want to be? Okay, you want to start making 100K a year. Okay, so this person who is making 100K a year, tell me what is she or he doing, and we start writing down. And we intentionally say, okay, we're gonna start doing it now, because if you start applying these every day and you start doing it now, guess what, you're gonna get faster to that goal, because it's obvious, like is the result that we want, that we can bring to the present moment to get there faster. So that's one of the tools I use. And I also ask myself, and I remember a couple of days ago that I talked with my coach to say, okay, how you can become, like write down how you can become your best friend, because as you say, we are really tough with ourselves. So how you can become your best friend, and write down all the things, all the ideas that come out. So my, I mean, I I want to be my best friend. So in those moments that I feel I'm behind, I will tell myself, no, no, listen, you have made progress. Let's keep going. Or in those moments, because you know that I, like, you can feel people that is listening right now, that I have an accent and my English is not that perfect. Sometimes my imposter syndrome tells me, like, your English is not good enough.
Mm,
How dare you to be in a podcast or do a English presentation or be in Instagram talking in English?
mm,
Like, so that imposter syndrome, if I'm my best friend, I will say, hey, you're doing it. Other people, they're not even doing it.
yes.
Like, good job. So
Yes.
when you can become your best friend and cheer yourself up, even in a small thing, and I keep doing this even with an accent or typos or whatever, because I want to encourage people to not let those things that they believe are not perfect stop them from becoming the person they want to be,
Mm,
because that's the only thing that is that's the gap. It's the only thing that is preventing them from being there.
mm,
People,
yeah.
I wonder, like, how come all my clients are in English. I just have two clients in Spanish. How
That's
come I
amazing.
have clients in English? Yeah, and it's just in your head, in your mind, because it's your energy, it's what you project and what you believe, what people can see. You see it. So I tell my clients, if I was able to grow my business with an accent, making grammar mistakes, and being able to help you to attract clients, you can help your clients too. Period. It's like that can happen for you.
Yes. And I love that. I love that you don't let it define you, right? I think a lot of people, especially when it comes to social media, they're so afraid to get out there and put themselves out there because of fill in the box, right? Like, I'm not skinny enough. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I'm sick here. Not skinny enough, not I don't have my makeup on, I don't know what to say, or I have an accent, whatever the thing that's holding you back, this is the reason why you need to get yourself out there. You could do it. You have to believe in yourself.
Yeah, and they're so talented. It's like, people,
Yes.
listen, it's so incredible the perception that people has about us and how different it is from the perception that we have about us. It's
Yes.
completely different. You believe one thing about yourself, and guess what, other people believe something extremely different.
Yeah.
Okay. Like when
So
people
true.
tell me, like, yes, it's like, thank you so much for your content. It has helped me a lot. And before I was telling myself, like, this is a waste of time. You're just talking BS, like, whatever. Nobody cares. They don't care.
That's
And
amazing.
yeah, so it's like you're talented, but your brain is gonna tell you all the time you're not good enough, you need to train yourself more, just do more, blah blah. All these is not true. It's like is is different. Like I promise you, the perception you have about yourself and what other people think about you is completely different.
Hmm.
So
So is that, would you say that's the biggest barrier to like break down from somebody, like their belief in themselves? Is that like the first thing?
I think something that I feel I help my clients with, and is kind of the I would say the most valuable thing that I can bring to the table with my clients in this container is helping them to believe in themselves. Because you can apply a lot of strategies in your business, but if you don't believe 100% in yourself as the person who can help other people, and you don't believe 100% in what you have to offer, and if you don't believe 100% that people wants you as the entrepreneur who can help them, and they want what you have to offer, this is what I call the closing triad. If you don't close this triad, people won't feel safe with you. And it's here is about feeling safe, so then people can buy from you. So, and we're selling ourselves every day. We're looking for connections, right? So if we believe in ourselves, people will feel like, oh, I actually want to be with that person because it's something. This is called the energetic smell that you have. So if you feel confident about yourself, you have this energetic smell that will make people feel safe too, because as humans, we're craving safety and confidence, feeling secure, feeling like everything is aligned, right? So building that confidence is something I work with my clients, and we apply like certain tools. And I think that's the main thing and what makes them attract clients, because people start feeling that.
Yeah, and I think you touched on a very important thing, that energy that you're emitting when you are confident, you might not even be aware of it, but it's just present. There's just like a different energy to you as a person, as an individual trying to talk to people when it's there and when you're faking it. So it's real.
Yeah, and another recommendation when you're growing your business, this is what I learned at the beginning when I was growing my business, and I learned this from another coach. You go to a lot of networking events to present yourself, right? And you have the chance to be the person you want to be. Nobody knows you. Nobody has a previous knowledge about you. So it's like a game. You decide who you want to be and present yourself. So that's like I actually liked doing this at the beginning because, like, okay, I'm confident. Okay, I'm this woman, is an entrepreneur, business owner, how I will present myself. It's like being a little kid again and playing this game. It's kind of fake it until you make it. You won't lie. It's not you're gonna say, "Hey, I'm making this amount of money," and it's not true. No, but how you present yourself, what words you say, how you feel is what I mean with becoming before being. Like you can feel confident intentionally if you decide right now, and I know it's hard, that's why I'm here to help people, but you can do it, and it's available right now if you decide to.
So what's one I guess one thing that you would recommend for people to focus on it, like if there's like, if there is one thing, right? Like I know it's so intricate, but if there is like one thing or a few things that they could start with and like focus on those things.
Okay, first of all, how are you feeling every day? Because
Mm.
that will dictate how fast you get to your result. For example, you want to attract 10 clients next month. In order for you to attract 10 clients next month, your level of confidence needs to be 10,
Mm.
Your energy needs to be 10, and your capacity to add value needs to be 10. Okay? So when you achieve this and you focus on, okay, I'm going to add value, I'm going to believe in myself. And sometimes when it's hard to believe in ourselves, we just add value, but from a place of being like from a place of service, you know? Because I know how hard it can be to believe in yourself 100%. That's why, I mean, I also have a coach because there are times where I doubt myself as well. Like, I'm still a human with a brain, so that's super normal. But the more you believe in yourself, the faster you will get where you want to be, because again, you open a window in your brain, and people, listen, you open a window in your brain, and when you open that window in your brain, which is your logical thinking, your more evolved brain, so it's like having access to this folder in a computer that gives you a faster access to other programs. Those programs are things that you maybe read in the past, you knew about it. So when you're talking to people and you feel confidence because it's this energy, this emotion that gives you access to that more like this developed brain, so then you will know exactly what to tell to that person. You know exactly what to say to add value to that person and make them feel comfortable and make them feel they can trust you. That's the key here. It's super simple. Like, you have access to that developed brain, and that's when you start becoming more creative, effective, and productive.
Mm. So when you say awareness, like become aware of you as a person, do they meditate? Like how do they achieve this awareness, self-awareness?
Okay, so one tool is every day write down all your thoughts. And you're gonna realize that most of your thoughts, if you're not making a lot of money or attracting a lot of clients, most of your thoughts tend to be toxic.
Mm.
This is not going to happen to me. The market is not in my favor. The rate interest is not in my favor. People is getting poor. The economy is bad. I won't make it. There are a lot of competitors. When you start blaming and believing those circumstances around that are causing you not getting results, that means that your level of energy is really low,
Mm.
because you're believing the circumstance and you
Yeah.
are like the average people believing all that.
Yeah.
So write down all the things that come to your head, and those things are related with you being the victim and you're never gonna get there. It's not happening. I'm just about to give up. I don't know what to do. People don't reach out to me. Blah blah blah. The market is not in my favor. All this, that means that your energy is low. Probably you won't attract clients.
And
Okay.
how does somebody bring that energy up?
Okay. So first, you do a thought download. You start downloading all those. Like, you start writing down all those thoughts, and you just, first of all, you normalize the fact that your brain is gonna create thoughts every single day, more
Mm.
than 60,000 thoughts per day, something like that. You write down your thoughts, and you have the power to decide to not think that anymore and change them to those thoughts that will serve you to level up your energy.
Mm.
We have that power as humans, but we nobody taught us that, right? So it's hard, I know. But you write down all those thoughts, and you start looking for, like, for proofs, like, this is not true, it's just a
Mm.
thought. Because
Yeah.
how come other people are attracting clients, are making money?
Mm-hmm.
If this were a fact, if this circumstance was a fact, that's why it's a circumstance. Okay, if this was, I mean, the difference between a circumstance and a thought is that circumstance, you cannot change that. Okay, it's something that is happening and it's real. The thought is the opinion you have about it. So, okay, the interest rate increased. Yeah, that's a circumstance. What you think about that is the thought, and that will define your trajectory. People will think, oh, now is my opportunity to be one of the few ones who is gonna get more clients because other people is gonna give up.
Mm.
And the other ones will be like, oh, it's gonna be hard. There's no way I'm gonna have clients right now this month because of the interest rate. Who is gonna win? The first one. So yeah, just it's just a thought. First, it's just a thought. Okay, so it's just a thought. Second, write down all the thoughts that can serve you, and you can start with possibilities. It is possible to attracting clients this month. It is possible to feel great about my offer. It is possible to feel great every day. It is possible, start with possibilities, and that will help you a lot to increase your energy.
I love that. Do you have a story of somebody that you've worked with that has achieved success through your coaching?
Oh yeah, a couple of them. Okay, so
If you're able to share them, you don't have to name names or anything.
okay, so one of my clients, we started working together, and I could see he has this drive. Okay, this client was super ambitious, had big goals, and this is my people who has big goals, who is ambitious, who wants more, who is hungry hungry
Oh.
for more. Okay, so he was like, this client just was missing a little bit of confidence. Okay, but having someone who believes in you, and I believe in my clients 100%. I know how powerful they are. Having someone who has this level of energy, this confidence, and also telling you and reminding you how badass you are, that's programming your brain to achieve your results faster. So that's the power of having a mentor or a coach, because it's really easy to just believe your brain that is telling you all the reasons why you won't get there, and you will be trapped in that pattern. Okay, so he started applying, like this client started applying the tools, and when people ask this client, hey, is she really helping you, like is this process really useful and valuable, he always answered yes, but you have to believe. That's the key. You have to believe, because if you don't believe, you're going to be stagnant in that brain,
Yeah,
primitive brain, who's going to keep you in your cave.
yeah. And also,
So
you help them too to believe. Sometimes it's hard to believe in yourself when you don't believe in yourself, right? Like you don't
exactly.
have it. But when you're either with a mentor or around other people that believe for you, then you could borrow that belief that you can make it, and it will change your mentality because you're grabbing it from somebody else. So,
Yeah, and it's like, listen, it's just me asking you a lot of questions. I start asking my clients a lot of questions that start unlocking the brain, and like they start getting confused with my questions. When they're confused, that's good.
mm,
Because they at the end we start laughing how ridiculous the brain can be about all the
yes.
thoughts telling you why you cannot make it. So at the end I just laugh with my clients, like, your brain is really weird. Oh,
Yes, and that's sometimes what we need too. We need to start questioning what, like having you could only see things through your vision, through your viewpoint, right? Like you've have had your life and everything in it that has led you to that moment where you're at now, and you can't see beyond that because you don't have it. You're lacking that awareness, that different mentality, different point of view. So in order to be able to do that, sometimes we need to get in the rooms where people are challenging what our thoughts are about certain things, but you don't. I mean, show me the person. I mean, I'm sure there are a few people that have done it by themselves, but most people only get there with mentors or with
oh
other
yeah,
people around them that are challenging what they are telling themselves and what they
oh yeah.
believe.
All the reference that I had, they had the coaches and mentors. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're no and you don't have a coach or mentor, oh, getting where you want to be is gonna be really, I'm bold here because we are not even selling. It's like you chances the chances that you get there really small. Just look, Google it. Oprah, Tony Robbins, Tom Ferrill, all these people, they have invested so much money in a coach because we have blind spots.
Mm.
That's what you mean with those like thoughts that we're not aware of. Those
Yeah.
are called blind spots. We cannot see them, but a coach, which is just a mirror, is mirroring that. So then you can see them, and when you can see them, you can change them. Because if
Yeah.
you don't see them, how come you're gonna change it?
Right.
You're gonna change them because you don't even know that they exist.
Yeah.
So that's why it's super important. That's the key here. Like I show my clients their blind spots, and then it's funny because it's like, oh, really? Oh, I thought you said this the last time, so it doesn't make sense. So that's when they get confused, and they're like, yeah, you're right, and they have the breakthrough because it's like, of course, it's just a blind spot, and
Mm.
it's what the brain does. So just we need to normalize that. It's literally the brain working every day, trying to protect you
Yeah.
from those new things that you want because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's like being out of the cave that
Yeah.
is really scary.
Yeah.
So
The
it's
brain is,
just,
yeah. Sorry.
yeah.
The
No,
brain
it's
is,
fine.
it's afraid of anything that's new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like you said.
I
And
think the first thing sorry to
no, go ahead.
interrupt you. So the first thing we should learn in this life is how the brain works. That will save you from a lot of pain. A lot of pain. As soon as I learned how my brain worked, I overcame my depression. Period. Because I was just learning about my computer who was programmed to be depressed and feeling a loser, weak. And then when I learned how to program my brain to be a confident woman who loved herself, who was capable, and who was also capable to have a beautiful relationships, I created the life I wanted. Everyone can. So that's why for me telling my clients, oh yeah, we're gonna track clients this month, in 2 months, like 3 months. Of course, because you have the contract to create that result, you just need to learn how your brain works. Otherwise, you're just gonna start creating random results.
Yeah. So what was what would you say was one of the biggest lie your brain told you when you just started your journey in coaching?
Oh, it is super common that your brain tells you that you're a fraud.
Mm, imposter syndrome. I think every
You're a
entrepreneur,
fraud.
yes, every entrepreneur has always, I think, or maybe not always, but I think a lot of entrepreneurs face that.
You know what I love about me being me as a coach? I'm super vulnerable. I share with my clients my things too. So then they can resonate and see that if I overcame that, they can as well. I don't know if other coaches that do that, but I do. I don't position myself as this perfect coach figure who is never afraid, insecure, who never has crisis. No, no, no. I tell my clients, listen, when they have their imposter syndrome and they say, I feel like a fraud. I was like, listen, 2 days ago, I felt like a fraud too. My brain was telling me that I was a fraud. And am I helping you today? And they're like, of course, absolutely. You help me a lot. It's like, okay, so that means I'm not proud. Thank you. That's true.
And I think that's a key too. What you just said, it's just like it just happened. So it's not something that poof is gone. You're solved. You're never going to have any thoughts, right? The reality is our thoughts are constantly processing information and constantly, just like you said, they're trying to keep us safe. So whenever it feels you're not safe, you're going to get all this negative or awareness that might not be true come up and
Exactly.
tell you again, hey, you are an imposter, you can't do this, you're fake, whatever the message is. But know that when you go through a coach or you get in you talk to somebody, that you're able to get the tools so that when they do come up, then you have a better response.
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. I still have like those insecurities creep in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what? Why are you telling me that? My client just told me he got the best deal, and now you're telling me I the worst coach. Like what? It's just like it's gonna appear because my clients ask me, how can I get rid of it? I'm like, I'm sorry, honey, you can't.
It doesn't work like
I'm
that. I'm
sorry, my
sorry.
friend. You can. You cannot get rid of it. Just not to. You just need to embrace it. And it's like I remember. I don't know who made this analogy about you having a little kid next to you, and you're talking to someone, and this little kid is mom, 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 and you keep talking to the person, mom, mom, and you just keep talking to the person and paying attention to the person. That's exactly what you have to do when those thoughts come out. You just need to let them be outside, like next to you, and keep going and keep taking action. And you just need to keep going. Yeah, that's a perfect analogy because they will come out sometimes. Yeah.
Mm, love that. Yes, I love that. And it's hard. It's hard work, you know. It is not easy, but if you commit to it, it will change your life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you just keep taking action and you start programming your brain. And yeah, for whoever is interested, of course I can help. It's just like programming your brain and implementing like really clear strategies that you repeat every day, so then you are able to redirect your brain to the path that will help you to get to the result that you want. But again, you cannot get rid of it, but that makes you an even more powerful human being who is capable of, you can keep going even though you have these insecurities and that dark side that tries to hold you back, but you just keep going.
I love that. Thank you
Yeah,
so much for that. And
of
here
course.
we always talk about like people listen to the podcast because they might also want to become coaches or whatever, whoever I have on this show, right? They're listening because they are thinking about becoming whatever it is the person is on the field. But for you, what do you think is the biggest entry for somebody that's trying to go into coaching, and what are some tips that you would have for
Oh, first of all, it's super wild.
them?
You're gonna suffer. It's like if you want to become mentally, spiritually, and what is the other one? Mentally, spiritually, I forgot the other one. Emotionally strong. I mean, not only as a coach, I mean, if you become a coach, you're an entrepreneur, right? But this applies for every single entrepreneur. But I think it's amazing to say, yes, I want to do this no matter what. And no, I don't care how much it takes. I'm gonna do it. You grow so much when you start overcoming those obstacles and you don't let that stop you from where you want to be. Like you just keep going and going, even if you have those insecurities. It's like being vulnerable right now. Like my brain told me a lot of things, and I just keep talking to Monica in this podcast. So I'm being real. Like, for example, oh my gosh, you don't know how to say that word in English? Blah, blah, blah. But I'm super transparent and vulnerable. So then I can give you the real example of what is going to happen in that journey as an entrepreneur. All your thoughts will come, all your insecurities will come, but you have the power to keep going no matter what
Mm,
and becoming your best friend. Like
mm,
if my brain tells me, oh, you sucked at it with Monica in her podcast, like, oh my gosh, was bad, Alejandra, was bad. I'm like, it's okay. You show up, I'm
yes.
gonna be here for you. S- Having that capacity to just keep going and having
Mm,
your energy high no matter what, that's what would attract a lot of opportunities to you.
yeah.
So my biggest advice is just know that if you keep going, you will see how much you can evolve, and the person that you will become will be like, wow, is this really happening? I feel proud of myself. And you evolve so much that I promise you, you never gonna regret all those obstacles that show up in your life, because those obstacles were the ones that help you to get where you wanted to be. It's like obstacles that are blessing, actually. We need obstacles. It's just wild and hard and heavy and painful.
Mm, yeah,
What do
definitely.
you think, Monica?
No, I
Money.
agree. I agree with that. It's evolving and learning. Um, know that it's a part of life. I think it's a lot of people might see growth as momentarily, like just happening in one phase of our lives. But I think if you open yourself up for evolution constantly, you're going to achieve greatness, because we are never done learning. For all you entrepreneurs out there, the beginning seems like it's hard, but the more that you continue, the more you learn new things, and then you start to see, like, I don't know nothing. Like, I know nothing. And the more that's how I feel, at least. Like, the more I
Yeah,
learn, I feel like, wow, I know nothing. And when I look back at the beginning, and when I thought I had it all figured out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was so naive. So it's crazy.
yeah,
It's an amazing journey to be an entrepreneur. Um, know that it's never ending. It's never ending, the stuff you're going to learn. So, but it's a beautiful
yeah,
journey at the same time. And as
yeah,
hard as it is to start ventures, um, they will pay off. And even if they um, cease to exist, fail, whatever, however you want to say it, the lessons that you learn from them will forever be with you and will make you into a better person. And the next venture that you come, you will bring those in with you, and you will be even better in that spot. So,
yeah.
yeah.
That's so
So,
true. And listen, I always tell my clients this. I never heard about someone who become like, I never heard someone that say, I never give up. I keep going. And I tried and I took action and it didn't work for me. No, it's like their result is guaranteed. I promise you, it's guaranteed. Because nobody has say, I try until the end and it didn't work. Every single person who said, I tried and I never give up, and that's why I am where I am right now, it's because it's guaranteed. It's like you're crossing the bridge. I always do this analogy. You're crossing the bridge. You At the other side of the bridge, you have what you want, the person you want to become. You're just crossing the bridge. You just cannot stop and cannot give up, because the result is in the other side. You will get there. I promise you. That's
yes.
what I have to tell myself. That's why I like to talk about this over and over. Yes.
For sure. And
Yeah.
what do you think, like somebody that's going into coaching, right? What do you think is a quality that they definitely need to have? Um,
A lot of empathy. Um, oh, I think empathy. It's like I even give my clients extra minutes because I really want them to succeed, and I empathize so much with them that I'm not like, okay, 1 hour, it's over, bye. No, no, no. I'm there for them. So a lot of empathy, curiosity, like being super curious all the time, because a good coach, and that's something that I have to learn, to be curious and ask and ask and ask, and coming from compassion and love. When I fill myself with compassion and love, all the words come out. I don't even know where they come from, to the point that they have the most incredible breakthrough, because those words coming from love and compassion, that connection that I build with them, is what helps them to understand that not only they're making progress, but also they're valuable, and everything is making sense. So you need to come from love, compassion, service, empathy. You need to be good at pointing out blind spots, which is something that I think makes me like a good coach, like being able to point out those blind spots they cannot see. I'm like, oh, when I start asking questions and then they answer thoughts, oh, that's why you're not getting clients because you're thinking this and this and this. And then I show them, I'm like, oh, so they get confused. I'm like, okay, it makes sense. It's like, yeah, exactly. So really good at connecting those blind spots. And yeah, I think you don't need to be extremely knowledgeable. I think giving a person that safe container where they can express themselves and you can create that synergy with that person to build something together, I think that's huge.
Mm, yeah.
Yes.
And so if you had like three tips for anyone that's just getting started in the coaching, what would those three tips be?
First, um, believe in that intuition that is telling you this is exactly what I want to do, even if you feel a fraud. It's like if that is like the GPS in our heart telling us this is your mission, this is your purpose. Because when you talk to that person and you give some advice and you start coming up with these ideas and you tell that person like all the things that this person can do and you can help that person, I think that's the first sign. Like, yeah, the first sign that telling you, yeah, you're meant to be a coach because you want it. Okay, so you really want it. Second, I will say, don't take it. Just make this as a game because when you take this too personal or too serious, I think if you are not attracting clients at the which is normal at the beginning, you start getting discouraged and thinking, and you're gonna start thinking that this is not for you because you forget about adding value. Okay, so of course people needs to pay for your coaching, right? But you need to make them feel safe. So first you need to feel safe with your with what you're offering, even when you're charging, so then people feel that too. So that's the second thing, like just focus on serving, adding value, and as soon as I mean, yeah, we are exchanging services, right? But sometimes our brain, when we start charging, our brain freaks out because like, oh, you're selling, now you become a seller, and then blah blah blah. But I think normalizing the fact that money is just like an energy that you exchange, because you're giving me the service, I give you money in exchange. If as humans we just can normalize that, life will be easier for everyone too. So just add value. Don't get trapped in because I'm not getting clients, I'm not gonna get there. Come from love. And listen, it's just about your confidence. The more confident you are, the more clients you will attract and the faster you can grow your business as a coach. It's pure confidence, because you start saying things that will help your clients from that place of confidence. That's it. And the third one will be you need to live in breakthroughs every day. You need to better yourself every day so then you can help your clients or people around. And it's the hardest part because we're really good at giving advices,
Mm.
but applying it in ourselves
Oh
is
yeah.
another thing. Yeah. It's
So
like,
true.
oh, just break out with him, block him, blah. And then you're next week you're suffering for a guy that you just met. So
Yeah,
yeah. So
very
yeah.
true. And so we talked a little bit about social media and you being on social media. What are you currently doing to promote your business?
So right now I'm super focused in Instagram. Just Instagram. I learned from my coach the power of being focused in just one thing because when you are everywhere, my brain operates in simplicity. When I'm everywhere, I get burnout, overwhelmed, I freak out, and I cannot, stop doing. So I'm just on Instagram adding value with a really simple strategy that I learned, showing up almost every day. So this is where I add value, and I use a strategy that I learned from my coach, which is four main pillars, which is um, you need to add value in a way of education, building authority. You need also um, so education, authority. The other one is promotion. Like you need to promote your business as if you had the most incredible product in the world. Like you need to become your own affiliate. And at the beginning, I was really like, I was afraid about offering my coaching. And then I'm just really intense every day. Like, hey, do you want to? Like now, because I'm confident, I'm coming from the place like, hey, I would love to be your coach. Hey, are you ready to work with me? Hey, do you want this? And I don't feel I'm selling. I actually feel I'm helping people to finally make that decision and be out of their comfort zone that it gets them stagnant.
Mm,
So yeah, I'm super specific with the pillars I use every day, and this is just a repetition, which makes things easier
mm,
because
yeah.
I'm repeating over and over the same thing. And listen, this is how you program people, but in a good way. I'm teaching things over and over. So then one day they may click in their brain. I was like, oh my gosh, now I get what you say with your thoughts create your emotions create actions, and those actions create results. Or like, oh, now I get what you say with when you're when you increase your level of confidence, you start attracting clients because they feel safe, you are meeting that need, and then they become your client because you are meeting that need because you feel safe with yourself first. It's like at the beginning is hard, but when you repeat, and I don't know if that's your fear too, Monica, but Moni, but sometimes we don't want to repeat the same thing over and over because we think that they just gonna unfollow us because we are repeating too much. That
Yeah.
happened to me at the beginning,
Yeah.
and now I don't care because actually that's exactly what we need to do as entrepreneurs. Again,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
to program, but in a good way. Like, listen, everywhere they're programming us with garbage,
Yes. And that is true,
toxic garbage.
Yeah, and a lot of entrepreneurs, I run into this all the time. Is, oh, well, somebody already said it, or you feel like you're being redundant. It's just like, no, because even if you reach some people, you're not reaching all the people. So some people
Hmm.
might have not even heard your message. And now because you did it this week, next week you're like, "Oh, I'm not going to say it because I already said it." Like, no. You
No,
have to
you have
say
to
it
say.
because some people might have not heard it, and or they heard part of it, and maybe this time they will hear all the message. So, and it's hard. It's a hard balance to create content. How do you balance doing what you do and then creating content as well?
Okay, I have a program where I choose a day, one day, where I batch. I mean, one day, 1 hour to write down what am I gonna talk about for the next month. I remember the previous month I did it in one day, like 3 hours. So I choose one day where I write down all the things that I'm gonna share regarding to everything related with the pillars I just mentioned: building authority, educating, promoting, and I forgot the other one. I don't know why, but the fourth one: education, promotion, authority, inspiration. I need to inspire people and tell them what happened as soon as I made the decision to invest in myself, and how did I achieve what I have right now. Like those stories inspiring people to work with you, and what I mean, inspiring them, not even If they don't want to work with you, it's fine, but at least to inspire them to get where they want to be.
Yeah.
So I take into account those four pillars. I write down all the content. So I have those pillars. So Monday, inspirational; second day, educational; third day, building authority; and the fourth day, promoting like directly your container or your package you're selling, the offer you sell. So I have a calendar where I put all this in an organized way. Then I choose one day to do all the reels, like videos. And at the beginning, it's super tedious. I'm gonna be honest. The beginning, because it's new, so everything that is new at the beginning is tedious, hard. It's like when you learn how to tie your shoes. The beginning is hard, but then it becomes really easy, and just like basic. So now for me, it's really easy just to batch the content, know exactly what to do. Plus, I have more access. That's what I tell people, that you first need to manage and learn how to process your emotions and your thoughts, so then you can increase your energy. Because right now, I'm better at doing that. So I have more energy, and I open up that window, as I said, in my brain that gives me more efficiency, productivity. So I become more creative as well. So since I'm more efficient, productive, and creative, the content will come out easier. So it won't take me that long to create it, to do it. Yeah.
But it's all about making that plan.
Yeah.
It's really hard um to commit to it. And I know as entrepreneurs there's so many other things that we need to do, right? But social media is the new way of marketing. So if you're not out there and you're not putting yourself out there,
Mm,
your competitor is, and they are getting the views, and they are um, coming off as the place of authority, like the business of authority. So you're missing out if you're not there, and you don't have to get expensive cameras. You don't have to, you know, spend a lot of money, but you will have to spend time at the beginning. It's either you're spending the time or you're spending the money. But to start off, just start off, make a plan, stick to the plan, and commit to doing whatever is doable for you. A lot of people are like, "Oh, 7 days a week." No, commit
mm,
to doing what's going to work with your schedule. If your schedule only allows for 3 times a week, that is better than zero. So
yeah.
start where
Even
you
just
need.
once. You
Yeah,
can
and even
start like
yeah,
just once
exactly, exactly.
and start growing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And have you had any success stories from your social media and your posting?
Well, I think yes, I can see how people reach out when I tell them, "Hey, I have a free clarity session where I tell you specifically, like where I can tell you why you're not getting clients." So that call to action after adding value is super powerful.
Mm,
So then I make a poll like, "Yes, I want it," or "I want to know more." So when people vote there, I know they're really interested,
mm,
because I don't reach out like other people. I don't reach out to people who follow me like, "Hey, um, I'm a business coach. Do you want to work with me?" No, no, no. I let people be in my audience. I add value, and I like my strategy are those polls where I see that really they are interested. So
mm.
I tell them, "Listen, here's the link for you to have this free clarity session. No pressure. Schedule it here. Period. That's it." But I think this is the way I do it, because again, I'm my strategy is build that confidence so people feel it and people smell it.
Mm,
They want you because the way you make them feel when you show up in your social media, the value you add. They can see that I'm like, "Oh my gosh, she's so confident, she's so consistent." She is, I mean, she seems that she has everything together. Of course, my life is not perfect, but I can say yes. I mean, my life is more organized for sure, and people want that. So when you can show yourself and all the evolution you're having in that moment, people want your help. So you just make a call to action, but you need to make a call to action because sometimes we need to push people as well in
Yeah.
that way because they don't
Yes.
know what to do. Their brain is like, oh, that's interesting, but
Yeah.
what? They don't
Yeah.
know what to do. Yeah,
People like to be guided, that's for sure. And if
yeah,
you're not
we
guiding,
need to
they're
guide them.
just going away. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's finish up today's podcast with a rapid fire round. I'll ask you 6 questions, and whatever comes to
Great.
mind, um, you answer. So,
Yeah,
um, number one, what is one thing you wish you knew when you started your journey?
how the brain works. Yes.
Right? You're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what was the most challenging part of your journey, and what did it teach you?
What was the what? Sorry, can you repeat again?
What was the most challenging part of your
Oh.
journey, and what did it teach you?
The most challenging part in my journey as an entrepreneur or in general?
In your journey
As
as
an
an
entrepreneur?
entrepreneur?
Okay. So the most challenging part has been when, for example, there are months where I attract a lot of clients, and then other months where I'm not attracting clients. But in that moment, now I know why that happened. But that was super challenging because I didn't know that I is still in that victim mentality and I was not taking full responsibility. So it was super challenging. So I fell there over and over, over and over until I was like, oh, if I can overcome this victim mentality, take control over these, and don't let these jeopardize my journey, I can go to that next level.
Mm,
So
yeah.
as soon as I was going to fall into that victim mentality, I stopped. I like consciously stopped there and was like, no, 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 no. Don't get discouraged. Add more value. I
Yes.
was directing my brain to be the woman who take responsibility. Yeah.
Mm, love that. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received as an entrepreneur?
Mm, this is your opportunity to learn how to. This is your opportunity to increase your confidence in not only the value you have to offer, but also with what you meant to be here. It's like you are a piece of this puzzle, yeah. And even if your brain tells you like you're nothing, that's not true. Okay, you're not weak. You make part of this puzzle. So just believe that people need your help. Okay, people need your help. That will be the advice. People need you. Don't be selfish. Don't think about you. Just people need you. Yeah.
What is one piece of advice that you wish you had implemented sooner into your journey?
Mm, the power of you being able to create thoughts that can encourage you to keep going and to become the person and the character that you want to be. Like we have the power to choose those thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, what is one of the most satisfying things that you do? Or like one, sorry, what is one of the most satisfying aspects of what you do?
Oh, when my clients start seeing that their thoughts create the results, like, oh, now I get it. Because at the beginning, everyone, I think everybody has heard about this, but they can when they can see it clearly, And they're like, oh, now I get what you mean with I'm creating. Because at the beginning, I'm like, I know you say that, but no, 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 for real. Like, I cannot do it because of this. No, 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 but for real, I can because of the market. No, no, no. When they learn that and they change that and they can see it clearly, oh my gosh, that's huge. And of course, when they start getting results and they start attracting clients, and when I can see those transformations, it's so, so rewarding when, for example, next session I can see they can project to me that level of confidence they have now, and they say it.
Yeah.
I can feel it, and they say like, oh, I don't know why, but I feel more confident. Like, it's this is working, I feel different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
that's like, yes.
Yeah. Whenever you affect people, and I think one of the funniest things about social media is like sometimes you don't get to know the people's that you've touched with your message. Um, but when you do get to hear it, it's beautiful to know that you were a part of their journey. So, last question is, if you had a message for new entrepreneurs trying to get into coaching, what would it be?
Hmm, be super clear in your intrinsic value, and don't let people, because this happened to me at the beginning, like, why you? There are a lot of coaches out there, why you? And my answer was so simple, but it was coming from this place of me knowing my value, and you don't even have to explain it. I was like, because it's me. I mean, it's me, and I know what I can do with my clients. It's my energy. I even told one of my clients, like, it's crazy because it's your energy. It's literally my energy. Because of me, as soon as we start working together, you get results. And this happens to you when you believe that as well. Because of you, you're gonna get results. You don't have to say, well, because I give this and this and this, and I give you workbooks and I give you videos. And no, it's so simple as because of my energy.
Yeah, it's so true. You know, our minds are very intricate, complicated things. Um, and we need to harness the power of our minds. And it's not an easy thing to do, you know. So I think with our minds or with anything new that we're trying to learn, mentors are really helpful to get us to the places that we want to be or achieve faster and with a lot fewer bumps on the road. But just like anything, we do have to do our homework to get someone that is really going to help you. And you have to be your own advocate at the same time too. You know, do ask questions and make sure that you don't fall prey to scams because they're out there, right? There's people, you know, pretending to be coaches and they don't bring any value to you, and you're just spending your money and they're not delivering on their promises. But there are amazing people, wonderful coaches that are going to help you and get you to the place that you need to be. But do do your homework on that. But know that most people that are successful have mentors. Alejandra has a mentor. I have a mentor. Um, you need it. You know, you need it to expedite the time that it takes you to get there. And even if you're not able to afford it, I mean, go on the internet. There's so much resources out there. Alejandra has some resources as well. Like, use those resources and don't get stuck on the learning. I always tell you guys, don't get stuck on the learning. Apply whatever it is that you're learning, apply it today.
And I want to say something. The last thing I can say, people, like, I don't let, like, when say like, if you don't have the money, so then just go for free sources and all that. I see us as so capable. I see us as so incredible, resourceful if we have access to that, when we find a way. If you really want that, like, if you really want to work with a coach or you really want to pay for it, I promise you that if you want it badly, you will find a way. Like, you will come out in your brain with an idea to make that money. That's what has happened with all those referents. They were extremely poor. They say, listen, I just was eating bread with peanut butter every day. Peanut butter. To pay my coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. Sometimes we think, oh, we don't have the money for, the things that are going to propel us to be better,
Mm,
but we somehow found the money to buy those new shoes and to get that new
exactly.
purse or go get ourselves some Starbucks. Um, yeah, so pay attention to where you're putting your money because yeah, if it's fine. Some people really truly don't have the resources and I understand that, but if you are putting your money in places where they would be better if you use it to get a mentor, then it's not that you don't have money, it's that you're not being smart with your money. So, yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
you,
And I think
Alejandra.
everyone has their own process. They probably one day will see the
Yeah.
importance. But yeah, true. I mean, I was bold on that. Like, you need to make sure you find the money to have a coach, okay? Do it.
No, I think it comes
No.
from a place of love for sure, because
Yeah, yeah.
you know the power of
Yeah.
what it could have for somebody if they get the mentor, right? But I know a lot of
Mm,
people, they have those blind spots. They don't see it. They don't believe in it, because they haven't been exposed to it. So
that's
it's
true.
you know it's it's
Yeah,
it's hard to, whenever you don't see something, it's hard to say, oh, hey, yes, this is valuable. Like they definitely see the value in getting a new phone, but they don't see the value on getting a mentor or getting somebody to help them to get to where they want to be. So, but, you
that's
know,
true.
yeah, just know that the decisions that you're making are, you're placing the seed, right, on whatever it is. So if your seed is, um to be better, then know be sure that you're putting that seed where it needs to go, and don't be surprised by the things that you don't get when you don't commit to placing the seeds where they need to be. So, anyways, thank
Yeah,
you, Alejandra, so much for joining me today. If people want to
of
get in
course.
contact with
Thank
you,
you.
find out more about your coaching, or maybe want to work with you, where can they find you?
So in Instagram is Alejandra Lozano, my name, dot coach. I would love to see you there. Yeah, that's my place where you can get to know me more.
There you go, guys. Thank you once again, everybody, for joining me. I appreciate you taking the time to be here, to listen. Please apply what you learn, and I will see you guys on the next one.